Whether you enjoyed this movie or not, there is one thing that we all have to agree upon, and that is the fact that Denzel Washington had that shit on. Mans was the drip god of ancient Rome. Gucci could never. So Gladiator II is the legacy sequel to the multi-Academy Award-winning film Gladiator. The film is once again directed by Ridley Scott, and it stars Paul Mescal, Pedro Pascal, Connie Nielsen, Joseph Quinn, and Denzel Washington. Years after witnessing the death of Maximus at the hands of his uncle, Lucius must enter the Colosseum after the powerful emperors of Rome conquer his home. Now, unless you're someone who's not too familiar with the world of cinema, anybody can tell you that Gladiator is one of the greatest films of all time. Y'all, the movie is like literally damn near a masterpiece. The story, the characters, their motives, the heartfelt emotions you have with those characters. The movie is literally flawless in that department. The only thing I didn't like was the shaky cam for the action scenes, but other than that, the movie is pretty much flawless. So here we are 20 plus years later after the first Gladiator film, and I'm here to tell you guys right now that Gladiator 2 is actually pretty good, but it is not great. However, if there is one thing this movie handled better than the original film, it is the action. The action in this movie is literally through the roof. This is some of the best action Ridley Scott has ever pulled off. This movie's got all sorts of cool action. Everything from good old classic gladiator sword fighting, to fighting feral devil monkeys, to a whole ass water coliseum fight. It is all just incredible. That water coliseum fight was epic, I don't care. And the best part about this movie is that there is no shaky cam, because anybody that knows me knows that I cannot stand that shit. So thank you, Ridley Scott, for not including it. Is the action in this movie historically accurate? No, but who fucking cares, because it's awesome. Also, the technical aspects really helped elevate the action scenes. Doesn't it feel amazing to watch a high budget movie that actually looks like a high budget movie? There is not one moment where I felt the visuals were weak. Like, every single scene felt so realistic, it's almost scary. And the cinematography and the production set pieces were also just as incredible. From the opening scene, this movie really reels you into the world of ancient Rome. At one point, I felt like I really time traveled back to Rome, because those visuals, again, top tier. Visually, this movie is breathtaking, and I think the visuals are just as good, if not better, than the previous Gladiator. As far as the general acting, everyone did a fantastic job. Paul Mescal was great, Pedro Pascal was fantastic as always, Connie Nielsen, Joseph Quinn, they were all incredible. But the biggest standout in this entire movie, and I think we all knew this from the very first trailer, Denzel Washington. If you cast Denzel Washington in your movie, just know he is going to act his ass off in this, and easily be one of the best parts of the entire project. Denzel Washington is a powerhouse in this movie. Like, that should not come across as a surprise to really anyone. I just love how everyone has this Roman-like accent, and then Denzel's voice is just Denzel's voice, but it works and we don't care because it's Denzel Washington. And even when he's not speaking, his apparel speaks for him. Props to the costume department, because they did their thing with his outfits. And you know what's kind of crazy? Out of all of the characters, Denzel's character and Pedro's character were the two characters that honestly I cared for the most. Not saying that the other characters are terrible, but I just didn't really have that emotional connection with the other characters. Even with Paul Mescal as the main lead, I didn't really have an emotional connection with his character. The actor was fine, but I feel like given the writing of the character, the writing was trying way too hard to make him essentially a clone of Maximus, even though he is his son, but still, you know what I mean. And I just feel like it didn't work for me. In fact, I didn't really feel emotionally connected to the story. The story felt kind of surface leveled in a way. From a storytelling standpoint, everything that was great about the first one doesn't necessarily transfer well into the sequel. I feel like the people that saw Beetlejuice are going to treat Gladiator 2 the same way. They're gonna have a fun time at the movies, but maybe they won't feel as emotionally connected to the story as its predecessor. But in the end, guys, Gladiator 2 is a solid movie. I enjoyed it a whole lot. Obviously, it's not as good as the first one, but I still think it's a pretty solid sequel to the predecessor. If you're looking for a compelling story in the sequel, you're probably gonna be disappointed. If you just want good action and good acting, you'll enjoy this one. Also, I will say, this movie is way more bloody and gruesome than I thought it was going to be, but I appreciated it. So, plugging Gladiator 2 into the rank system, I am placing this one into the pass zone. But yeah, y'all, that is pretty much my review for Gladiator 2. Let me know down in the comments section below what you guys thought about the film. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Do you still believe Gladiator 1 still holds up to this day? Whatever you thought, let me know down in the comments section below. And as always, guys, leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you all in the next one.